Okay, welcome to Yassa. Yassa Poulet, Yassa Chicken Yassa. Okay, first we're going to start with some chicken. I'm using some quarters here, so the leg and the thigh, starting with 4 of them. So I'll show you how we prepare them shortly. I need a lemon to wash the chicken in. Then we've got to make this sauce, the seasoning, and you do that with some parsley. I've just already bought it, which is washed. Some green capsicum, head of garlic. I've got one of these Senegalese stock cubes. I think you should have some of those. Dijon mustard, some ginger, fresh ginger. Got some lime here. A spring onion. I'm using here fresh onion because I didn't have spring onion, but I want the green part as well as this onion. So if you don't have this type of onion, you can use a red onion and a spring onion for the green part. These are some chilies coming from Senegal. They're quite hot. I think you can get the scotch bonnet, which is a similar flavor and fragrance. I need onions for the onion sauce, some peppercorns and some salt. So that's all the ingredients for now, and I'll go through and show you how we prepare the chicken and then the seasoning, and then we'll do step by step. So as you see, I have here the chicken quarters. I'm using 4, and I'm going to remove the skin and then just divide them into 2 parts each, leg and thigh. I've just removed the skin from the chicken. I haven't cut them yet. You could use them whole like this and actually make a slit in the side and actually put the marinade inside the chicken, and that's the traditional way to do it. But because of the limited cooking facilities I have here at the moment, I'm just going to cut them and open them a little bit so the marinade can go in. So when I cook it, they're very tasty that way. I don't have a fire or a good oven. Okay, I've just divided those 4 quarters into some legs and thigh, as you can see. Okay, so just put those chicken pieces into a bowl. I've got some lemon and salt, and we're just going to rinse the chicken, add some lemon and salt, and then just leave that to sit there while we prepare the marinade. Water to the chicken. Now I'm just going to add a handful of salt. Be generous on the salt. It's going to sit there. And now add some lemon as well to the water. Okay. All right, now just mix that around, the salt, the lemon, the water, and then that just sits there for 15-20 minutes while you are preparing the marinade. Okay, so now I've just cut up, prepared the items or the ingredients for the marinade. So we have an onion. You can use a small red onion for this. I used a fresh white one because we have them here. A handful of parsley. This is a spring onion. This one's a head of garlic, a piece of ginger. Then I have a piece of green capsicum. I use those long ones, the Italian ones you call them. A chopped up chilli. This is the scotch bonnet. Well, it's a little bit different. The one we have here, it's hotter. And some teaspoon of peppercorns, a bay leaf. I've got the stock cube and the Dijon mustard. Now we're going to put it all in here and roughly chop it. I've added everything, all the chopped up, roughly chopped ingredients here, except for at this stage the parsley because it doesn't fit, so I'll have to blend it a little bit. So then it goes down and I can add the parsley. I put 3 heaped teaspoons of mustard in there as well. Okay. Roughly chopping up this. So as you can see, it's chopped up. So you have like a combined paste. Not to see that you still get some pieces in there. Without chopping into a liquid, you want it to have some little pieces, so it's sort of fine but not too fine, if you know what I mean. So now we have our bowl of marinade. and we're going to actually marinate the chicken. So half of it goes for the chicken and half of it is used in the onion sauce. Here's the chicken. I've rinsed it off, patted it dry, and now I'm going to show you how we insert the marinade, and we'll just reserve it in this bowl and leave it there to marinate for 30 minutes. Okay, now we're just going to marinate the chicken. So you take a chicken leg. If you see there's like a big chunky bit here, we want to put some marinade inside the chicken. So take a sharp knife and just poke a hole without piercing the other outside. Just make a hole along the bone. Put your finger in. Okay, now you see you've opened up. Take a teaspoon of the marinade and just pop it in there like that. Okay, now that marinade, we call this roff in Wolof. And now it's sort of in here. So we're just going to do that for all the pieces. When you get a piece which is this size, the actual breast, we just go along that where the attachment of the drumstick was, and just go along the side of that bone, the same thing, make a hole and put a teaspoon of roff inside there. Okay? Now, okay, so I've inserted some of the marinade inside each piece of chicken. So now we just want to put a little bit on the inside and outside of the chicken, and then we're going to put that aside to marinate. Okay, so again, just marinate the outside. Now if you don't want to marinate the inside like I'm doing, like traditionally they do in Senegal, then you just marinate the outside of it like this. But I would probably in that case put a few cuts in the chicken so it goes into the chicken. Okay, so I've marinated the chicken. I've actually covered the chicken in the marinade now. So that's going to sit there. I'm going to cover it, put it in the fridge for 30 minutes or an hour. And there's the leftover marinade that goes into the onions. I'll show you a little bit later. Okay, next we're going to slice up these onions. Just peel them and slice them, and we're going to put them in this bowl. I've chopped up my onions now. Now I have the reserved marinade and a bit of salt. So I'm going to take a couple of spoons of this, just add it to the onions. I'm going to add a pinch of salt as well to the onions. Now what I'm going to do is just mix that around and coat the onions with the marinade. Okay, so here I have the onions mixed with a bit of the marinade. Now I'm just going to leave them sitting there, marinating, while I fry the chicken. I'm going to fry the chicken in some oil so the oil becomes nice and flavorful, and then I'll fry the onions to make the onion sauce, while the chicken then goes in the oven to finish. So we want to take the chicken and put it into some medium-high heat oil, because it has all of this marinade on it and we don't want to burn the marinade. So that's just going to be having to go in a medium heat. Okay, so cooking that for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes on each side, and then in the oven to finish off. Okay, so once we put them in there, we're just going to add a pinch of salt to the chicken, just to make sure that we season it, because we haven't really done much seasoning. But you don't want too much, because we have the stock cube inside the marinade, so just a bit of salt. Okay, so 10 minutes has passed. I've just turned them over. As you can see, just browning nicely and not burning the marinade. So slowly, another 10 minutes on the other side, and then we'll put them in the oven and cook the onion sauce. Okay, so once another 10 minutes has passed cooking over the other side, we're going to transfer these to the oven to finish cooking, while in the same pan as the fried the chicken, we're going to make the onion sauce. Okay, so I've just now put the onions in after taking the chicken out. Just turn the heat up to get some heat back in there, but we're going to cook them on medium just to basically cook them right down to they're caramelized. But just now, once you've put them in and you've got the heat back in, we're going to add the rest of the marinade to it. So we're just going to add the rest of this and cook it on a medium-high heat, just to cook the onion the ginger and everything out, and then we let it slowly cook down. In the meantime, I've got the chicken. Well, I'm using an air fryer. You can use the oven. Just finishing cooking there. Okay, so I've now cooked it for a while and added a little bit of liquid to it, just so it can soften now and marinate, and I will cover it. I've got it on medium-low heat, and that will just sit there for about 20-30 minutes. Okay, so the chicken's been in for about 12 minutes, so I'm going to just turn it over now and do the other side. Okay, so it's now pretty much cooked. So what I've just done is I've added a bit of half a lime squeezed into it, just to give it some freshness, a bit of citrus, to balance it all out, and it's very, very good. So it's pretty much ready now. So once the chicken's done, I'm going to add the chicken to this pan, and then just put the lid on, and that can just simmer away for another 5 minutes. Okay, so the chicken's now ready, if you see. Oh yes, you want it sort of that nice barbecue-y flavor. And now I'm just going to add it to this sauce. Ooh, yum, smelling amazing. And I've got the rice cooking in here with a couple of chilies on. Alright, so I've just taken the chicken out and put it into the sauce. As you can see, it's looking yummy. So it's pretty much ready now.